Good morning, good afternoon. This is John
and Sarah
from 2 Doves Bees and Gardens, and today we're going to be doing some testing. We're going to be testing how much nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash that you can get out of Comfrey Tea. And so we have before us 2 buckets. This is a 1-week-old Comfrey tea. This is a 1-month-old Comfrey tea. I say that they're a little bit older at this point, but they brewed for 1 month. This was done on July 4th. There's another video on the channel where I put this together, and then I made one so that it would be 1 week old. I wanted to see the difference. Does it make any difference if you do Comfrey tea for 1 month versus 1 week? And we want to know how much of the good stuff is actually in the Comfrey tea. So we're going to bring you along with us, and we're going to test it.
Yeah, we just wanted to do some testing so we can figure out what our plants are actually getting.
So we're going to open these buckets and enjoy what's inside.
Oh, that's a good thing this is not smell-o-vision. Oh, yeah, it smells nasty.
It definitely doesn't smell very good. You can take the lid off of that one. Sarah is definitely more the studious, detailed person. I'm the big picture person.
And even though the Comfrey has been removed, both of these buckets have stuff floating in them.
Residual.
Yeah.
Well, let's do some testing.
That's normal.
What do we want to test first? I think we probably want to test the nitrogen first. We might want to grab another kit of this so we actually can do both of them at the same time.
Okay. This is the test that we're using. It is a soil test kit. It is very basic, not super advanced, and it is for soil. It is not for liquids. But you mix the soil with water to test it. And so we figured, since you're using the liquid anyway for the test, we're going to try it with the Comfrey tea and see how it works.
And you can get these tests on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description where you can get them and directly to them. So hopefully they work well for us.
Hopefully. Well, it'll give us an idea anyway. It's not going to be anything super scientific or super exact, but it'll let us know what's there in what concentrations.
Yeah, so just so you know, it has the nitrogen, the phosphorus, that was the word I was trying to get to. So nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, and the pH if we wanted to test the pH of the mixture. Okay, well, we've got our pipette.
Okay, what are we testing first?
I think we should test the nitrogen first, because I think that's probably the thing that we're going to get the most out of for the Comfrey tea.
That would be the purple.
It's the purple one. So we have 2 kits, obviously, and we're going to use separate devices for each one here.
I'm being very careful not to get this on my skin because the smell stays.
And I'm assuming that we just have to shake this.
Yes. So, okay, the directions say we need to allow the color to develop for 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of these together, and then we will come back in 10 minutes.
So we've got our test going, and they need a little bit more time to sit, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, well, we're back with you. It's been 10 minutes since our first test, actually 10 minutes since our last test.
Yes.
So let's take a look at the results. This is the 30-day old nitrogen test for the 30-day old Comfrey tea nitrogen test. And you can see, what does it look like? There's no purple there that I see. What about on yours?
This is the 1 week, and it just looks clear.
Yeah, we're not seeing any or any nitrogen at all. Here's the 30-day. You can see that looks pretty clear. And that's the 1 week old Comfrey Tea. So you can see in the results, we're not seeing any nitrogen in Comfrey Tea at all.
That's really surprising. I thought there would be more nitrogen in there.
This is completely surprising to me. I thought for sure that this would be pegged to the top with full of nitrogen. I don't see any, zero. If you guys have any ideas why we would get no nitrogen out of a Comfrey Tea, put it down in the description, because I'm interested. It's completely surprising to me that we found nothing. Let's check our next test there.
Okay, which one's next?
Let's check the
Phosphorus.
Oh, I'm sorry, phosphorus. This is the 30-day old, and you can see that the Comfrey Tea that I'm seeing the results here, it looks like there's a lot of phosphorus in the Comfrey Tea. No nitrogen, but you can see here's the result of the phosphorus. And this is the 30-day, and Sarah, hold yours over. That's the 1 week old, and they're both
dark blue.
Both dark blue. Lots of phosphorus in the Comfrey Tea. Well, now we're going to check the potash. That was a description or a conversation we had. How do you say potash or potash? Or is it potash? And there is some. So here's the 30-day in my fingers, and Sarah's holding up the 1 week. And they look fairly similar, I would say.
Yep. So it's not enough to grow stuff in, but it will add some to the soil.
There's definitely some potash in the Comfrey Tea. So I am just surprised, and I think probably Sarah is too. I expected to see nitrogen. I think she's less surprised, but I expected to see full of nitrogen in this. And I think what we mostly see is the phosphorus. So if you guys have any suggestions as to why that might be, I'm interested to hear. Is Comfrey Tea a good fertilizer?
Well, if your plants need phosphorus, then definitely. And if y'all know what trace minerals are in Comfrey Tea, I'd be interested in knowing that too. So put it down in the comments.
I'm going to try one more test, and I'll let Sarah get away from the smell. I'm going to stir this up and make sure that the stuff that's maybe settled into the bottom, and bring that up to the surface and redo a nitrogen test just to see if we get any results at all. So hang on for that.
And I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day.
So I just emptied out the previous nitrogen test, and I'm going to refill that and redo it now that it's been stirred. Well, my time is up for the redo of the nitrogen test. There's still zero, nothing showing up in Comfrey Tea nitrogen. I don't know if it's because of the soil. I thought that, you know, with the green plants that we put in here with the comfrey that grows really well, that we would find some nitrogen in here, and there's nothing. So if you have any ideas, any suggestions, if you've seen something that we missed, let us know. We're interested in doing the Comfrey Tea. There's some good stuff in them, but surprised. That's what what I'll leave you with. Just surprised that I didn't find no nitrogen at all. Yeah, depleted less than. So this has been John at Two Doves Bees and Gardens. Sarah's off and working on the garden, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us.